Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's good to be back before you again to bring you our monthly COVID update from Liberty County and all parts thereof. We're happy to have with us members of the A team. Mayor Brown is here, Superintendent of Schools is here with us, and of course, our county administrator is here with us also. Missing a few partners, but we're just as passionate as we always have been. Certainly have your care and concern in mind when it comes to bringing our updates to you. Thank you once again for hanging in there with us for all these months. Thank you for embracing our new reporting schedule. We thought since things we thought were calming down some that we would back off of our reporting schedule, but I heard the comments made a few minutes ago from Mayor Brown, caution and concern. So that's the theme of the day, caution and concern. Let's not let the spring fever make us lose our great hygiene habits that we have when it comes to wearing our masks, when it comes to watching our distance, and of course, washing our hands. So let's keep those things in play. Now we know you're hearing several reports, several changes from CDC, and we don't argue with CDC. We can try to follow the science ourselves. But we're asking you to be a team of one, asking you to maintain your good hygiene habits because we know all those play a part. Someone told me last week, I had not thought of that. They said, have you not paid attention? I said, what? They said, well, there really hasn't been much reports about flu this flu season. And they think it's because we've been wearing these things and been washing our hands and watching our distance. So if it makes a difference with flu, it'll make a difference with COVID. So let's keep all those things in mind if you need anything to encourage you to continue your good hygiene habits. We will now hear a report from our A team. That's what I call the A team. We're going to start with Superintendent Perry, and then Mayor Brown, and then our county administrator. In that order, please.
Thank you, Chairman Lovett, and good morning, Liberty County. I just want to, first of all, thank all of you, our stakeholders, our parents, our teachers, administrators, everybody for working with us to get us to this point. We are still cautious, as the chairman said, but we've come this far, and we think we've done some amazing things during this time. Certainly our goal during the pandemic was to continue to educate our children and at the same time keep everybody safe. And that's been our goal. That's still our goal. And we think that we've really led the state as far as school districts in accomplishing that. Just a couple of things I want to tell you quickly. And right now we are in testing. It was not mandatory by the state. But our personnel felt like we want to know where our students are. So next year, we can give them the help that they need in order to move them forward. And so this is a big time for us to kind of find out where our students are. So that's going on right now. Elementary students, K-8, they're in virtual as of May the 4th. Our high schools will go virtual learning May the 11th. And so make sure you check with your schools. If there are any questions, we want everybody to feel very comfortable in what we're doing. Our special needs students will still have the option to come into school. We kind of went virtual doing the testing because, again, we didn't want all of our students in the schools at the same time. So thank you for cooperating with us with that. We are planning our seniors activities for our seniors with safety in mind. Graduation for Liberty County High is May the 21st at 7 o'clock. Bradwell Institute will be Saturday, May the 22nd at 7 o'clock. We are planning summer school. I would encourage all parents, if your child is experiencing some difficulty and you think maybe they've fallen behind, or if you want to get them with some enrichments done, we encourage you to send them to summer school. We are running a full summer school. We'll say lastly that next year, I think August the 3rd is our first day. Our plan is that all of our students will come back to school in full force on August the 3rd. Again, I remind you of our customer service line. We think we're one of the few in the state that utilizing that. If we want all of our parents, our students, if you have a concern, if there's something that's keeping your child from getting the education that you think that they should get, we ask that you reach out to the school. If you don't get what you need there, by all means, call the customer service. We want all of our children. Our mission statement is for all of our children to get a high-quality education. So again, thank you. I want to thank the team here for all of that, just working together. I agree that Liberty County is certainly the best place to be. And as far as our school system is concerned, we want to hold our end of the bargain up and give every child the education that they need to be contributing citizens in a global society. Thank you.
Good morning, Team Liberty. Good morning, citizens of Walthamville. Good morning. We're here today to say that the city of Walthamville doors are open. We've been closed for a little while, but the City Hall main office will be open, but we're still following the CDC guidelines. And our park, Giant Freighter Park, will be open as of Monday, and same thing, CDC guidelines, and thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. It's good to be back. I missed last month. It seems like it's been 3 months since I've been here. But it's good to be back, and we're here again today to encourage and update our citizens. Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, Liberty County has had 3,957, and that may be off a number or two, but it's the most accurate figures I have, confirmed cases. And that has led to 60 deaths, way more than we ever thought. Since our last update to the public, we've had several new developments. Our numbers continue to trend downward. Our 7-day rolling average, community transmission index, and hospitalization numbers have all gone down, I think, is what I was told anyway. Our numbers have improved to the point that Governor Brian Kemp recently updated and extended the state's health emergency order, which is set now to expire on Sunday, May 30th, unless he decides to extend it again, of course. The newly updated executive order loosens some of the COVID-19 restrictions which were previously in place. This is promising news. However, we're not completely out of the woods yet. While the governor has loosened restrictions, we are still in the state of public health emergency. The newly updated executive order lifted the table distancing requirements for restaurants and bars. The number of requirements for conventions were reduced, and all specific requirements for gyms and fitness centers, movie theaters, body art studios, I'm going to skip that word, hairstylists, massage therapists, and all those distances were eliminated. The newly updated executive order also clarifies that graduation ceremonies are only required to follow guidelines under organizations, which is a key point as many of our community young people prepare for upcoming high school and college graduation ceremonies. On the vaccination front, the Georgia Department of Health continues to offer the COVID-19 vaccination. Currently, any Georgia resident 16 and older is eligible to receive the vaccine. The Coastal Health District recently announced that health departments are now offering the vaccines without an appointment. However, this is only offered during specific clinic hours. For Liberty County, those specific hours are on Mondays from 8:30 to 11:30, and that's at 1113 East Oglethorpe Highway. To avoid overcrowding all at once, the Coastal Health District does encourage residents to make an appointment, but underscores that it is no longer totally required. To learn more, you can visit gachd.org. To date, roughly 12% of Liberty County residents are fully vaccinated. We strongly encourage more of those residents to get vaccinated. And in closing, I will say, as I always say, we remind you to continue practicing those crazy W's. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Thank you very much, and now we'll hear from one of my favorite cousins, Joey Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. I just think you're trying to get me to pull for the Gamecocks when football season gets here, but That's probably that's probably a long reach. Thanks, and they've gone over everything as far as some numbers go. I do want to share with you, I think one of the concerns that we still have, we're doing great and couldn't have done it without the team overall here and the Liberty County citizens, but there are some things that we're leading in the coastal health region. There are 8 counties. We're number 2 in the transmission index still. The mayor mentioned we've come a long way since a height of around 560 and the 5 times the transmission rate that's recommended, down to about 168 as of yesterday. That still puts us over the threshold for a mandatory mask mandate if the government's decided to do that. Of course, that's not into effect, but it is an indicator that transmission is still occurring in the community at twice the rate almost that we'd like to see it. The other thing that unfortunately we're not leading the team in has been alluded to earlier is the vaccination rate. The statewide vaccination rate as of yesterday is about 35% of the population that's been fully vaccinated and another 26% of the population that has had 1 dose. Liberty County is 7th out of 8 counties. Our vaccination rate for total vaccinations right now is 15%. And 12% of those folks that have had 1 dose. So that's not a place we want to be. We've got to work on that. I will say on a positive note of that, according to Dr. Davis today, 75% of the older folks in our population have been vaccinated, and I think that's why we are seeing a drop in the death rate, which was occurring in older adults. You heard about the clinics, the walk-in clinics. Other than on Monday, though, there still are appointments required at the Liberty County Health Department. So the walk-ins are only on Mondays from those time periods mentioned. Other times of the week, they do need to be scheduled on there. Got some word from Dr. Davis today that Pfizer has applied for their licensing through FDA. This is part of that process. I've heard a lot of people say, I'm not going to take that vaccine. It's unlicensed by FDA. So now it's been out there on the market so long. It's been through some other testing criteria. It's moving actually to apply for a BLA or a license type product on the market. And so FDA will be considering that. It's anticipated that Moderna will shortly after follow that because it's been out for about the same period of time. Additionally, FDA, we think, is going to recommend Pfizer to a lower age group, excuse me, starting in June, and that will be ages 12 to 15, which will be good. So that'll open up another avenue there for a younger population who is also susceptible to the disease. A couple other things. There is a group known as CORE, Community Organized Relief Efforts Group. It's a private group. It's been sanctioned by the national government and by the state to help administer the vaccines. It's due to come into the Chatham County area sometime, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and then look at expansion into the rest of the coastal region. So that's great news. Again, that's a community organized relief effort team. There's no cost for those vaccines once you see that pop out to be able to use those. Additionally, and we appreciate this at the county level, I can tell you as we organize or run a jail system, that a group called Viral Solutions, which is also a privatized effort sanctioned by the government to be able to administer vaccines to county jails, including staff and inmates, is also going to be making that available. So I know that at the county jail we have already been doing that and doing some testing, but that'll just allow us to expand that. So some good news on those fronts as we continue to expand. The mayor mentioned the governor's order that came out. Won't touch too much on that, except to just remember that during the health emergency, governments can impose their own sanctions, especially inside of their facilities. And to that end, commission meetings still, while the health emergency is in place, are limited attendance only. There also will be masking requirements at county buildings by county ordinance during the health emergency. So just prepare to keep getting screened at these county locations. Finally, on the court facilities, jury trials are resuming. They actually picked a jury last week for a jury trial, so those are going to start ramping back up under certain protocols put in place by the Chief Justice and by each district that those courts are recognized in. So I guess in closing, thank you so much for what you've done. A little bit of hard love here. Please consider those vaccinations. to help you and help yourself and help your family, and we look forward to talking to you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Liberty, for your reports and your update once again. I always like to kind of close on something that's, I say it's the realism of life. I was looking at online at the Coastal Courier's, just their page, and I saw a mother and daughter listed. This mother and daughter both passed away of COVID within like 3 weeks of each other. So my point to you is that COVID is very real. So we can't be complacent and not follow the CDC guidelines. It's tough losing a mother and a daughter from Liberty County citizens who were very well involved in our community. So I want to just use that as a reminder to you, especially to our young people, take it seriously, take it seriously. I really want to appreciate Dr. Perry and the Board of Education. I'm looking forward to going to graduation soon because my grandson will be graduating from Bradwell. I want the opportunity to be there in the field, sir, so thank you all for providing that for the parents and grandparents and family members. So thank all the 18 members for what they have been doing. Those of you who are using the parks, as Mr. Brown said, the park's open. Mayor Baker said the park's going to open in Walthamville. Just be safe, be safe. If you have to be the only one to be safe, you be safe, you be safe. But don't want to just close on restrictions, because I want to say this too: the community continues to grow. If we put our mayor and mayors and county administrator hats and commissioner hats on, community continues to grow. We're hearing that housing sales are very robust. I even heard that apartment sales and rentals are very robust in Liberty County. I was sharing notes with a friend of mine who's in Locust Grove, right south of Atlanta. He was telling me about how hard it is to get apartments there. So I traded notes with someone here that told me the same thing here. Apartments are going real fast. So listen, the community continues to boom. It was an excellent thing. I'm going to join the Leadership Liberty Group in just a minute. And that's a very important group because we need to continue to have vision. Someone said that for our community, have to have people who are in the pipeline to assume the leadership roles for such a community that we love so well. Thank you, Dr. Perry, for saying that we all do work well together. We applaud you all for keeping those 10,000 students safe, as well as the staff that takes care of them. So we've done well, but we're not going to let up. We want to start the upcoming school year off in a safe manner, and want our students to be able to go in those classrooms and stay in there until May of next year. But we can't do it by ourselves. We have to do it as a team. So thank you so much. Don't forget, in the meantime, to wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Have a great day.